Getting from A to B online is much like travel in the real world. Hitchhiking can be cheap, but unless you chip in to help cover the costs, you're in danger of being branded, as Google has been, a free rider. Earlier this year, the French internet service provider Free caused a storm when it blocked Google's ads. It claimed that Google hogs bandwidth with its traffic-intensive YouTube, without contributing any money at all to the rollout of expensive internet infrastructure. The French government said, yeah, fine, you've made your point, now put the ads back on, and then proposed a law on net neutrality. Net neutrality is the principle that all data should be treated the same. That means internet service providers should deliver Google's data at the same speed as Yahoo's and of cutecats.com or any other website for that matter. As things stand, ISPs can slow down, even stop certain kind of internet traffic. They say they do it to manage the network, preventing peak time snarl-ups so real-time services like YouTube work.
In order to provide quality of service, you have two options. Either you throw bandwidth at it, i.e. you keep expanding your network infrastructure, which is a costly proposition, or you use techniques by looking at the services that are flowing over the network and giving preferential treatment to services that require real-time service like voice, video.
But ISPs have been known to block users from making cheap VoIP calls, Skype and the like, thus forcing them to make calls over their more expensive network. So what happens when ISPs cross that line, go from managing traffic for their customers' benefit to manipulating data flows in their own interests?
I got bronchitis. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Crossing the line means that they would give a lower preference to a competitor's traffic, for example, one that is not paying them but is just using the network to carry the traffic, then it becomes a regulatory issue.
La Quadrature du Net, which campaigns on a raft of internet issues, is convinced net neutrality, equal treatment of all data, is essential to safeguarding free speech and to guarantee future business innovation on the net.
On the internet, you just deploy a bit of code that corresponds to your new ID and you just test it. What if I cannot access the users of this or that telecom operator? Would I have to go to them and try to negotiate, to strike a deal? Would I have to have lawyers to do that? So the innovation on the internet lies on the fact that you can access all the users at once. If this becomes untrue, then we lose the benefit.
To date, there are just two countries with net neutrality laws, the Netherlands and Chile. The body advising France's president on digital issues is pondering if the definition of net neutrality in France's law should be wider and take in, for example, search engines.
Internet neutrality has to be accepted not only on the networks, for sure, it is the beginning, it is the first step, but we have really to concern the whole chain of access.
Net neutrality activists believe the focus on Google paying for the traffic it generates is a dangerous distraction, which, if it happened, could even result in Google demanding its content get priority.
The way the debate is framed with the Google must pay for the YouTube traffic of its users is nonsensical. It's the usage that drove the growth of the internet. Along the years, the telecoms operators didn't believe in the internet. So yes, Google must pay. They must pay their taxes. But Google or nobody else should be prioritized on the internet, and nobody should pay for accessing the users of an internet service provider.
With France pondering a net neutrality law, others will now probably do the same. One thing the history of these hot-button internet issues has taught us is that it might be called net neutrality, but the debate will likely get very partisan indeed.